Hi guys, it's Promise Sebastian here again. So this tutorial is gonna be great for those that are designing already on Pixellab. Then it's gonna be great for the newbies on Pixellab. Okay, so when you learn a particular tool or software, you tend to use the tools that are timed to the work you do, so you tend to forget some other important tools that might help you do the design faster than the one you're using. So we are going to be exploring Pixel Lab through now most of the tools, so you get back on track. It's going to be quite fun, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so guys, if you're new to this channel, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button as I drop awesome videos like this every Wednesday night. So guys, without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna start by introducing most of these tools here, not most, all of them. Okay, so this is the edit tool. It's more of a shortcut to edit, so you could just use it now and then use this one and then type in a text, and then I'm just gonna cancel this. So you could click on it here. You have your copy. It's more of a shortcut. You have your copy, you have your rotate, you have the text here. You could increase the size of the text with this, and then you could rotate with this, so you could see the rotate tool appearing here, and then you could move relative to this position. So this is more of a shortcut tools you might be needing, like on a quick stand. So you have the color here. You could change the color, and then you also have the to the back and to the front. This is to bring to the back, and then you could use it to bring to the front. Assuming I have other designs here, let's say I just copied this here from there. Let me just use this now, copy, and then copy again, and then copy again. So I have more of this here now. So let's say I want to bring any of them to the back and to the front. You just use there to the back, and then to the back, and then to the front, to the back, and then to the front. Okay guys, that is it for the tool, and this is used to delete. Let's delete this, and delete this. So this is more of a shortcut tool here, and it's kind of crazy and awesome. So you have your text here. So this is used to go back. Let's say I deleted all those stuff and I brought them back. Here on Pixellab, once you go back, you just can't go back again. Also be cautious of going back, so you don't regret going back, and since you can't come forward again. Okay, so you could zoom to wherever I think 500% of your design, and that is great. Okay, so you have your grid here. You could on the grid, and then you can move the grid lines to suit whatever it is. It's more like a ruler to guide you through. Okay, so then you go on the magnets. Once you on this magnet, what it does is, if let's off this grid now and then leave the magnet on, the grid adjusting to, let's off it. So if you bring anything close to the grid, it magnets automatically to it, you see. So that is the work of the magnet there, and then that is it for the grid. So you have your layer here. This is your layer to whatever it is you have here appears on the layer. Let's tap on this now, use this to copy, and we'll have the layers here now. And then on this layer too, you have this button below here, which is used to move, merge, and then do some other things simultaneously. So you could mark and mark and mark and mark, and then merge it, and then you could use this other button beside this delete lookalike button, and then you could use it and rotate all the whole text at the same time, and then you could mark them again, and then you could scale with this one, sorry, move relative position, and then you could make them invisible all at once, and then you could lock them all at once, and then we could resize them all at once. That is quite awesome. So we'll go back now because we don't need to keep that now. So that is it for the layer now, and then you have plus here. So here you have text. You could add text here now. You see your text, and then you could add current date. So this is my current date here, and I just added it with that current date. And then you have plus here. You could add some stickers. I think there are a lot of stickers here, free stickers. Before, if you're premium plan, I think you're gonna have more of the stickers here. And then you go add some shapes. This is quite interesting. You click here now, and then you see a lot of shapes you could use to play around a lot of things. So you can increase the opacity of the shape and change the color of the shape and the gradient color of the shape also. So when I get to the color, I'm gonna talk about how to use these colors, and then I'm just gonna delete this from here now, and then I have this here. So we'll go head over to the plus tool there, and then from gallery, this is used to bring stuff from gallery when you want to bring in something on Pixellab, so you could use from gallery and bring it in. Then you have draw, so we could draw whatever it is we want here. Increase the pen size of the draw. So once you draw, you can't increase it again, so you have to increase the pen size and then draw to get big. And then you can increase the smoothness of the drawing so it gets smooth, and then you could fill inside of the drawing, or you could leave it open, or you could turn it to dash. Let's say you see we have dash lines now, you can fill inside. You see it draws something and then fills it the inside for you. See, that's quite awesome. So this is awesome. So we'll go back now, go back, and then to the draw again. So you have neon effect. It adds more of the new, you know what neon effect, it looks as if it's glowing. So let's use a yellow color so you get the heck of it. So it looks as if it's kind of glowing. So you increase the blur radius and then you have more of the neon effect look. That is awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete. Let's click OK, and then we'll delete, and then we'll delete. So we'll have just our text, and then we're gonna delete this also. So we'll have our text now. Okay, so you then have this M card lookalike tool here. It looks more like a memory card, so you can just tap on it now. So you can use here and save as project. You could save as project. You type in your project name. Let's say keyboard is gonna come out. Let's just go KJK. I'm sure most people save design as this. Let's be sincere. So you could click OK and we'll save this as KJA now. So if you want to get it now, you use this folder now. On this project interface here, this one that looks more like 3 circles, you see a folder at the top of all these shapes now. So you click on the folder and then you have your project here. So this is a project PLP now. This is a project I just saved. If you tap on it now, we'll get back on the project. You see, we are back on track. So I'm just gonna tap on it again so I explain some other stuff. So you have here PLP. So in case you want to get a PLP from your folder, so you could get a PLP here. So this is a folder now. So these are folders on my phone. So if you have if this is your phone, you're going to be seeing folders like the ones you have on your phone here. So you could access them in case you have any PLP on any folder. So you could save a PLP on a folder that you know the name. So you could save on your download folder. So when you see your download folder here, you're going to get it right away. So this is the folder name. I have Telegram, Boom Play, all those. This is my download folder, and I could just leave here and then take a folder I saved here and then bring it up on Pixellab. That is a PLP file saved on the folder. So you just tap on it. If there was a PLP file here, you're gonna get it right away. So that is it for them. Then you could, let's go back, and then you could arrange these projects here. So assuming you have a lot of projects on your Pixellab now, so you would want to get the one very much fast, the one you're looking for. So you could rearrange from date, from name, and then change so you could get it faster. Okay, I'm going to cancel this. So if you are done, you could just click OK and get back to your design project you get. So that is it for this now. So you could save also as images and these other save changes. So probably you might have open up a project and then did some works on it. So you could save changes on that program, so on that project, so you don't have to save again and save again, you get. So that is it for that. So you have your save as image now. I can save this as an image. So once I click on this save as image, now it's going to bring up this interface for me. Here you have where a menu here where you could change from JPEG to PNG. Okay, most times I save as PNG because PNG retains quality, although I just love saving as PNG and it gives me the good result I need. So you can change dimensions. So you have low here, you have medium, you have high, you have very high, you have ultra. If you save as ultra, it's going to be very clear. Okay, so that is it. I save as high most times. I don't save as ultra because ultra consumes space. The more clearer it is, the more the space is gonna consume. That's just it. So you could save to gallery straight away, and then you could share. Once you press this share, it's gonna save instantly and also bring up a menu for you to share. So you see what it's gonna do now. It's saving this image. It's gonna bring up a share menu for me, so you can share on Instagram right away from Pixellab. So then you have quotes here. This is one interesting tool here Pixellab added. So these are a lot of quotes you could use on a design. If you don't know any of them to use, like you don't have a quote off hand. So you could change the language from English to French, and then you could, I don't speak French, so this is English now. So all these are quotes. Anyone you tap now will just come up on Pixellab here. Now you see it, so you could use it and do whatever it is you want to do. So should, in case you don't have quotes now. So then this other dot tool is very much important because you have some awesome tools here. So you could use image from gallery here from this tool, and then you could change to full screen. Let's say you are doing a design and you want to see what only the design looks like without all these tools on Pixellab. You could just tap on this full screen and it turns everything to full screen, so you have your design right away. So we'll reduce this now, and then you could use image from camera. That is, open up your camera, take image and then use it. You could export image, and then you could resize this image right away. This change the dimension instead of having to go back to the background interface. So you could change it from here. This is more of it's gonna up your game and it's gonna make the design process faster. And then you could contact Pixellab for bugs or reports, and then you could check their tutorials on YouTube. Then you could remove as this, more of buying the app, like switching to premium. And then you could recover autosave more if you used a design. Let me just tap on it so you see what it looks like. So you could recover autosave. These are designs I've done already on Pixellab, and this is up to October 5th. Okay, so I've done much designs as I'm doing this tutorial, so it has saved all of them. Assuming I didn't do much, you will see more of October 3rd or even October 2nd October you get. So should, in case you do a design and probably someone mistakenly removes it and you didn't save it, so you could go here and get it back. This is a nice tool and I use it a lot. Okay, so you could open a PLP file just like using the project file. So you could open it up, so it takes you to the project file right away from just there. So I'm just going to tap on the background. Then you could check about on Pixellab, and then you could exit from there. So that is it for this now. Okay, then and then you have the background interface here. So these are the background interface you could use. This is more like a startup page you could use to start up your design, or a startup menu. So all these things are there for design, will I say templates you could use and then design yours. But I don't know whether you would like using something like this. So probably me, I use the white one often because I love it blank, so I put in and do my magic. Okay, so this is it for the background interface. Then we head over to the alphabet interface, but then we're gonna switch to this default now. So I'm gonna switch to this. So I'm gonna switch to this. I have my text here now, and then I have this alphabet interface, or probably let me just switch to a one that have a little text effect so you guys see. Okay, this is not nice. Let's get something like this. So this is cool now. So we're gonna use this as I explained, this alphabet interface now. So then you have style here first. This style is kind of awesome for those that love using text effect. Okay, so you could create a text effect and save, even create a font and save here. So let's just use the save first. You could save this style, text style, and you click OK, and this text style is saved now on Pixellab now. So what you want to do, how to use it is, let's say you get a text, the new plus in text, we have a text now. So you could head over to this style now, and then you get head over to browse. This browse gives you the text style you've saved. Okay, this is default text style Pixellab designed and kept here as default, so you could use this one. And then you could check my style. This is the ones you designed and saved. Okay, some of all these things are text effects I designed and saved. Okay, so this first one now is the one we just saved now. This one, once you tap on it, you don't even need to change the font. You can automatically add the same color, the same or gradient, the same color stroke, the same font, or a new text you just brought without having to walk around. Okay, the effect or the tool is kind of awesome, really awesome. So you could edit with this, more of typing the text you want to type. So you could just double tap on it and do the same thing as this edit. So you could delete. You all know what delete is now. You're not that you know what delete is. Okay, so you could just copy this, and then you could get to the front, to the back, more like the tool here you used to bring to the front and to the back. Okay, so you could use the position tool and move left, move right, move down, and then you could use the relative position and bring it relative to the center horizontally and relative to the center vertically. Okay, these ones are left, top and bottom, and then right, and then top again. Okay, so I use mostly the relative to the center, so I make sure everything is center. So you can increase the size of your text, you can increase the size to whatever size you like, and then you could cancel and leave it back to what it is. So let's move this so we are seeing what we are doing. And then you could pad. Okay, let's say you want to add some space to this text now, so you could tap on it and then pad it. Let's pad this text now so you see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to use the negative padding first so you understand how it works. So let's see if you're going to pad negative. Okay, so you see what the negative padding did to this text. You see the new text is kind of going off the border of this text now. So you can pad, increase the padding, and you increase the padding here. So you see the text has much padding now. So if you add a button to this text now, it's going to have if you add the button to the text, it's going to have much space rather than having a little space like this one now from the border. Okay, so that is it for the padding. Okay, and then I'm gonna refresh this. This is just to refresh whatever it is you've added, because I don't need this padding. And then we can change the color. You have your color here, you could change to whatever color you feel like. Okay, and then you have gradient. This gradient is really interesting. Let's change to this yellow gradient, and then you could use the plus tool. Okay, you could check some of my text effect. Most of the text effects involve using complex gradients, and you're gonna learn a lot about how this gradient works. Okay, so you have first gradient arrangement, which is arranging horizontal. Then this is arranging vertical, this is arranging diagonal, this is arranging from the center, that is the color is dispersing from the center, and then this the color is coming from the top, and then this the color is coming horizontal, it's coming from left and right. Okay, then you have this plus, you use it to add color plates. So this plus here, you could minus them, and then I'm tapping on this color shade. In case you don't want to touch on the color plates here yourself, you could just switch with these arrows. You could switch this color, you could switch back to this other color, and then you could switch this color by changing this one here and putting it here with this tool. Now you see what it does, it brings it back for me. And then if I'm here, I want to go to this color without tapping on this, I could just tap on this and use this arrow beneath this second to the last arrow and move to this color without having to touch it. And then you could change their colors here. You have your color here, you have this is more of let's just say saturation, because it removes the color and changes to white. And then this is more of changing it to black, like darkening the color to the extreme, to the extent you could get to black. And then you could reduce the transparency to 0. That's quite awesome. Okay, so you're just gonna cancel this. We don't want to affect this on this. Okay, so that is it for the color. And then you have the texture. This texture is awesome. If you want to add, you could use texture for shapes also. Okay, I'm gonna explain that when I get to that of the shape. So you could add texture to your text. You could check some of my text effects tutorial. You're gonna learn some awesome stuff there. Okay, so you could add opacity. I don't think you add opacity there. You could reduce opacity, don't mind me, or increase the opacity, and then you use the good tool and make sure it's checked. You check the good tool and it checks. Okay, so you could affect the shadow. Let's say this text has a shadow. If you want to affect that, if you want the opacity to affect the shadow also, you leave this checked. But if you don't want, you leave it unchecked. Okay, you click okay, the good button up there top, and then you could change the rotation. You could rotate it. You all know what rotate is now. Okay, so you could max this now. This is more of a complex tool here on Pixellab, but check my Bezier ultimate Bezier tutorial. It explains everything about Bezier. So if you know how to use Bezier, you could use maxing also, because they are the same, just different little difference. Okay, so here is the font here. Use it to add fonts. My font, you have the default font. These are default fonts on Pixellab. Then this is my font, and this is the one you've used recent. Okay, so for you to add fonts on Pixellab is quite easy, very much easy. Very much easy. So these are my fonts that I installed. Okay, so if you see all these icons beneath, all these tools at the top, now the one that has a text and then the one that has a folder. Okay, this is used to add a font, just a single font now. Okay, so let's say I have my font folder. This is a folder on my phone. Let me go to my font folder. It's a folder on your phone. So you have any folder you saved on your phone, you're gonna you could save any folder. You could save it as font and then upload fonts to that folder. So when you open Pixellab, you head straight to that folder and you're gonna see the font you uploaded there. Okay, so these are fonts I uploaded. Let's say I want to use this font on Pixellab, I just have to check it here and then add selected. It's gonna bring up the font on Pixellab. But then the best way to import font is to add a folder directory. Okay, so this is a folder directory now. What I want to do is head over to that font tool now. that font folder. That font folder, you have other fonts here now. So this is a font I uploaded on all those fonts folder. If I add this directory now, what it's gonna do for me is whenever I upload font on that font folder, it's gonna add it or bring it up here on Pixellab, because Pixellab can access that folder. So that is quite awesome. That is how you add fonts. Okay, then that is it. You have your recently used fonts here. Okay, you click OK, and that is it for the font. Okay, so then you have your style here. This is more of changing fonts to italic, but there is I think a little glitch on this, because if you change to italic, it's gonna change the font for you, which you might not want. Okay, so and then you could underline the text, and then if you don't like what you are getting, you could make it bolder, and then if you don't like what you are getting, you could just remove the effect. Okay, and then we use the good button, and then you have the curve. You could curve text to whatever angle you like. You will refresh this, and then you click OK, and then you could add background. Okay, this is where that padding comes in place. Now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to add background to this text now. So let's say I add an orange background, okay, to this text now. So let me go to that padding tool again, so you understand how it works now. So let's increase the left padding and the right padding. So you see what this helps also in background, using the background. So we'll refresh this, and then we are cool with this. And then you have the align tool. Okay, so this align tool will require we type a lot of stuff before we use this. So I'm just gonna type in this and then check on my clipboard. I think I'm gonna have some text which might require, which will be long. So okay, I have a long text here. You can use it for what we want to use it for. So I'm just gonna resize this right away to somewhere here, and then I'm gonna increase the width. You can bring it here. Oh my god, this is quite a long text, so I never knew that the text was this long. Okay, but then being long is not a problem. Let's just explain what we want to explain. Isn't that it? Okay, so we have this text here now. So you have align, and then you have, you have left align, which it gives you on default. It left aligned on default. So you have the center alignment, and then you have the right alignment, and then another awesome tool here is this justify. This justify makes sure that it's let's say you are using center alignment, it makes sure that the texts are all following the border of the text. You get, the text are all following the border. If I don't use this justify now, you see some of the text are not close to this text border. You see this one is not close, this one is not close now, this one is also not close. But if I use this justify now, you see all of them are now going to be close to the text border, which removes some space and makes it look more mature, but most time you might not want to use it. Okay, so that is it for the justify. And then you have spacing, increase the text spacing. We don't use this long text for this spacing. Let me use this small one, this new text. Okay, so you can increase the spacing, and then you could increase the line spacing. This is where you have another text. Let's just type in the new text also. Okay, and then you can increase the line spacing with this now. So let's refresh. And then you could add stroke to this, more the same way you could use colors. You could use them to add stroke, to add awesome stroke to the text, so which is quite awesome. So let's just off the stroke, and then I'm gonna increase the width of this text, so you see the shadow I'm about to add. Let's just use this shock 5 text, and then you could add some shadows to this, more of drop shadow. You play around with a lot of stuff. You could offset the shadow, X offset, Y offset. Then you could increase the blur radius of the shadow. You could reduce the opacity of the shadow, and that is it. Okay, so you could add inner shadow, and then with the same offset you could work on blur reduce, and also on the same shadow we're gonna off this, and then also the shadow we're gonna off it. So you have emboss. This emboss cracks once you on it, so you might not want to use it. And then this is perspective. You all know what perspective does. This is 3D rotate tool. You could rotate X axis, you could rotate Y axis. Okay, it's awesome. So you click OK, and then you have this 3D tool. You can change this to 3D. Okay, so I recommend you watch my 3D. You can watch my Mauritius tourism flyer or the Dubai flyer. Okay, it explains much of how to use this 3D. Then you have drop shadow. This drop shadow is only for text. and then you have this reflection. It also works on text. I don't think it works on shape. Okay, so that is it for the text. Okay, so most of these tools I explained here are also applicable on that of the shape, just quite a little different. So we are going to explore some of that of the shape. So guys, this is a shape, and then I'm going to click OK. So on the shape here now, we are on the shape 2. So you have the shape here where you can add other shapes. These are default shapes that Pixellab gave you. So you could increase the radius of the shape. You could increase to 100%, turns it to circle. So you could reduce the opacity of the shape. You could change the fill color. I've thought about how to use this color, so it's the same as that of the text. So you can increase the amount of stroke, reduce the opacity of just the stroke, and then change the stroke color with the same pattern you use color is the same on the text, the same way you use color on the shape. And then you could change the stroke edge here. This is going to make the edge of the stroke curved. Let's increase the stroke so you get what I'm talking about. It's going to make it curved, and then it's going to make it paved out, and then it's going to make it edged. So we'll click you can increase the blur radius of the stroke so it has a blurred stroke. Okay, we'll click OK, and then we don't need this. We are going to reduce the blur radius. We don't need a blurred stroke. Click OK, and then that is it. You could delete, you could crop the shape. I use this cropping of a shape often, most of the times when I want to trick people. So you could see now it's gonna look as if you drew up these two stuff, because there is no way you could get, or probably you combine the shape, because there is no way you could get a shape and add a stroke for it to look like this. So I use the crop tool often, so you could copy the same thing as that of the text, copy to the back, position the same thing as that of the text, and then color the same, texture the same way you could add texture, the same way you could add on text, and then opacity the same. Then color filter tools, this is another tool that is not on the text. Okay, so here you could hue, you see, whatever, even if it's an image, is this now, we could hue it, and then we could saturate it. You know what saturation is? It's bringing out the color really well. And then you can increase the brightness and contrast also. So we refresh this. It's a nice tool. So you could add stroke apart from the stroke from the main shape. So you could add 2 strokes now on the shape with Pixellab. So you could add a stroke from the shape edit tool here, and then you could add a stroke also from the stroke tool on the shape. So it's kind of awesome. So then you could erase some stuff here. You could increase the handle of the erase, increase the blurriness of the erase. You could erase, and erasing without a sharp edge is going to be blurred, and then you can increase the handle of what you're erasing. And then let's bring this back, use this to go back, and then you have this tool here which erases stuff automatically. Let me use the square one to explain it very much fast. Okay, so you have this square now. You use this now to remove everything outside and leave everything inside this square now, and then we'll go back, use this one inside to remove everything inside and leave everything outside. So it's kind of awesome. So you could increase zoom in with this and zoom out. So you could click OK, and you see what we just did now using the erase tool. It's kind of awesome. And then you could marks to, I've taught you guys the same marks on the text. Check my Bezier ultimate tutorial on my channel. You're gonna get a heck of how the masking tool works. Okay, then you have erase here. It's used to erase colors. Let's pick a color word erase. Let's just pick this yellow. It erases it. Okay, so should, in case this is an image, you could use it. And then you have tolerance on this erase. Tolerance is more like how angry the erase to is. Let's just put it that way, and it's kind of funny. So if it's less angry, it's gonna erase colors, not that very strict on erasing the color. But if it's very much angry, that's if you increase the tolerance, that means it's just gonna erase the color very much well. I think the idea is kind of complicating with the word tolerance. That means it should be, if you increase the tolerance, it reduces the amount of color it's going to erase. But that is it for the tool. I'm not the developers of Pixellab. Okay, so this is the rotate. So you all know what rotate is now. And then you have 3D rotate. So I've talked about this also. You rotate 3D. So it's kind of awesome. So you have 3D shape. I quite don't use this much. It's gonna give you a 3D shape. Okay, watch my 3D tutorial. Okay, you know how to use my Dubai tutorial, Mauritius. They are 3D tutorials, so you know how to use this 3D. And also my 3D text effects, you could get a hang of how to use all these 3D stuff here. Okay, then this is perspective. You guys know what perspective is. And this is drop shadow, the same way you use drop shadow on text, the same way you use drop shadow here. And this is inner shadow, the same way you use inner shadow. And then this is emboss. is it doesn't crack on shape except on text. Okay, so this is it. Let's just remove this stroke we have here, so you see what the emboss looks like. Okay, so this is it for the emboss, and then you have this now for the background. Okay, so this is the background here. Nothing much here. You have the color. The same way you use color, it changes the color of the background to whatever color you have. Then you could make stuff transparent. You should, in case you want to make a design transparent, and then you can resize the dimension. That's change the dimension of the image. And then you could this crop. It's probably when you use a picture, you took a picture with Pixellab, you would want to crop the picture together. That is where you'll be needing it. And then this is an image to get image from Pixellab. So Pixellab has quite image on default you could use on the start. So all these are image you could use and do some nice design. So you see they're all looking nice. This is nice. This is also nice. These are all background images you could use to create something nice. Okay, so that is it. And then you could bring from your gallery, and then you could use the camera. So the last two here is gonna be this other one here. These last two here. This is used to this is used to rotate. Let me cancel on this last. This is used to rotate the background, the whole background and everything. So you could change dimension of your design by just rotating. Okay, it's kind of awesome. And then this is used to add vignette. This is used to add vignette. It's more like making here darker and then keeping you focused at the center. Okay, so you could change the color of the vignette you want to use. Okay, so here is used to add noise. To add noise to your design. You see the noise. You could enhance, increase the alpha, enhance it. Okay, it's kind of awesome. And then this is used to add stripe. Used to add stripe. You can increase the number alpha and then increase the number of stripes. And then this is used to increase the brightness of the whole design. So you might have a design, you want to increase everything on the design. It is also used to increase the contrast of the whole design. You get? Then you could hue the whole design also with these two. So everything here is to work on the background as a whole. Okay, so you could saturate the whole design on the background. You get? So that is it for Pixellab. I think we've covered all the whole tools. So I'm just gonna refresh and remove some of this. Okay, so that is it. So thank you guys for watching this awesome tutorial. Okay, keep creating, and don't forget to subscribe if you've not, share with your friends, and drop a comment and like this video if you enjoyed watching it. Okay guys, keep creating. See you guys next Wednesday.